Okay. So good evening, viewers. Due to some technical problem, it was not possible that we can start on 7 p.m. But now we are starting the live session, and I will heartily welcome you all in this live session at Inspire Manit page, and to continue the session of unanswered questions. And today, as a guest, we are having Mr. Harsh Srivastava Sir, who is an alumni of MIT Bhopal and is currently doing his job in L&T Corporation. So, welcome, sir, in this live session of Inspire Talk.
Thank you, Ketan.
Okay. So, shall we start, sir?
Yeah, we can start.
Okay. So, first of all, I would like to tell you that in the last session, as Mr. Shivam Singh sir was there as our guest, we were discussing about the simple living, that we should believe on simple living, but not the complex living like nowadays people are believing. But not only the simple living will work, because the animals are also having the simple living, but the humans are not satisfied just by simple living. So, what other thing is required? That is our today's topic. That is high thinking. Sir, would you like to tell us that what is the meaning of high thinking along with the simple living?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ketan, for introducing. So, as Ketan rightly told that the topic which we were having on last session, that is simple living, if we look little deeply in that, so that is not a full topic. Why? Because only simple living cannot, in simple words, it cannot make us happy or it cannot solve the problems of our life. So in last session, as we saw that the basic concept of moving towards this simple living is that uh, since we were having so many complexities because of artificial mode of living we have created, so that's why we arrived in simple living. But if we see a little deeply, then actually is simple living possible in today's modern life? So the answer naturally will come as no. So why it is not possible? Because we don't have that broad thinking, or we today we are keeping it as higher thinking. So I'd like to briefly highlight the topic, and then we'll move into other questions. So what exactly this higher thinking is? Uh, we have actually three platforms in our life. Now, first I'll start with the basic difference between an animal and a human, so that it will be little clear to all of you. The basic difference between an animal and a human being is that animals cannot inquire about their life and human beings can. Now, what kind of inquiry? And human beings can inquire about the purpose of their life. Human beings can ask that why I am living, what is the goal of my life. But animals usually don't bother to ask these questions. Animals and human beings have mainly four similarities. You might have heard this in previous sessions also. So animals also eat, animals also sleep, animals also defend themselves, and animals also have sex life. And these four things are present in human beings also, in some or other more sophisticated way. But if we see the difference, as I told earlier, that this is the basic difference, that human beings can inquire about higher life. So the basic concept which we are taking today of higher thinking is the uniqueness of human beings. So next concept which we are moving today is three aspects of our identity. Every human being have these three platforms on which they can express their identity. First, or the basic platform, is physical platform, which we call it as, in other terms, gross platform also. Second platform is mental platform, which we call as subtle platform. And third platform, of the highest platform, is spiritual platform. So these three are the aspects of identity which we are having. Now I'll more elaborate on this, but first I'll ask Ketan if he has some doubts, so we can take those questions and then I'll discuss.
So, as you mentioned that there are basic three platforms. So, like nowadays, people mainly are surviving on the bodily platform. They are just assuming themselves as the bodily platform, or just we are this body and we are like doing our trends, fashion, and these kind of things just on the bodily platform. But can you please elaborate about the spiritual and the mental platform? What does it means in our life?
Yeah, very nice question. So as I was stating earlier, that we are having these three platforms, and normally in our general day-to-day life, we are more accustomed with this bodily platform. That we are having this body. Why? Because we can see each other. We can see that we are having a physical form and we can directly perceive it. So that's why we are having uh, the conception of bodily or physical platform. But an higher understanding about that is mental and spiritual platform. So first I'll move on from this physical to mental, and then we'll move from mental to spiritual. So how we can realize that we are having a mental platform also? Like you see, if you are only a body we can realize, we can recognize as a lump of matter. Matter means it is made up of these five elements: earth, water, air, fire, and ether. This is a simple definition of matter, and body is a matter. Now, if we talk about mind, then mind is a subtle element. Mind is not a matter. Okay, it's a subtle element. So, just a simple example I'll give you so that you can understand that we are not actually this body and we are mind. How we can see that we are mind? If when we sleep and we are having that body only at the time of sleep also, but if we see grossly, then our body is inactive. Our gross body is inactive, but our mind is working. So at that time, if I am dreaming something, and if I am dreaming of that I am in some forest, I am eating something in that forest, so it means that my body is lying on the bed, but I am dreaming about something, means my mind is working. So in that case, we are not in bodily platform, but we are in some higher dimension, or we are in mental platform. So that through this example, we can understand that we are having one mental platform also. And this mental platform is an higher understanding of physical platform. Now, how we can move from this mental to spiritual platform? It is also very easy. See, how we can realize that we are not this mind. Now I proved that we are not actually this gross body only. We are having something higher, which is mind. Now I am proving that we are not this mind, but we are having more higher thing than that. That is soul. So how we can prove that? It is very easy to understand. When a person dies, so his body is lying there, which was existing before also. But why we say that that person has passed away? Because that some living force have passed away from that, because of which he is not able to react, or he is not able to move himself. So what is that living force? That living force is called as consciousness, and that consciousness is the characteristic of soul or spirit. So, till the point spirit or soul is present in your body, till that point you will be displaying this characteristic of consciousness. And since that consciousness is present in you, so that's why we call you as a spiritual person, because spirit is there in you. So each and every individual, not only human being, animals and every living person have a spirit soul, because of which they are able to live. So by this understanding, we can prove that we are not body, we are not mind, but we are spirit soul. Why? Because uh, that is the living force which is existing, and because of that only we are able to perceive our presence. So this was, I think, this answers your question.
It was a very nice explanation by you, sir. And
Yeah.
now I've understood that spiritual, like we are saying, he's a spiritual person. So the spiritual person means he knows that he is not this body, but he is a soul. He or she is a soul. That is the meaning of a spiritual person. He understands that what is the meaning of spirit. I am not this body. If I am doing the fashion and I am doing just the enjoyment on this body, then it is not the real thing. I am the spiritual person. Okay,
Correct.
so thank you, sir, for giving this answer. So, like, it proves us that we should not make ourselves considerate like we are this body, but how we can raise ourselves, we can raise our consciousness from this material platform to mental platform, and then mental platform to spiritual platform. Can you please guide us about that?
Mm, yeah. Nice question. See, now if we practically see, then uh, it is really not very easy to rise from this, especially from mental to spiritual platform. From physical to mental, we can rise also, but especially from mental to spiritual, it is very difficult to rise. Now, how we can do that? I'll give you a simple explanation for that. Physical platform means bodily platform, means it is on the platform of matter. Now, if we have to move from matter to spirit, means if we talk about mental platform also, then that is also a subtle platform, that is not matter. So if we have to move from matter to something higher, either we can call it as subtle or spirit, then we have to reduce our involvement of this material body. Now what does that actually means? More and more we are engrossed in bodily consciousness or bodily platform. More and more we'll feel ourselves as body. So what we have to do? we have to decrease our involvement of material platform. Now, how we can do that? See, there is a philosophy, there is very vague way of seeing this particular thing. Like, I'll give you an example. If you are having some, like you had an accident and on hand or feet, you got some damage in your body. So one thing which doctor can do, doctor can cut off your hand in which that damage happened. So this is one solution. Another thing, he can just treat that particular wound. So these are the two solutions. So similarly, if we applied these two solutions here also, if we have to reduce our involvement in material things, then we can do two things. First, we can destroy our body so that body is also not there and there will be nothing, then no involvement. But that is not possible. That is not a feasible thing. Like if doctor cuts off your hand and relax only, then how you will walk?
Exactly.
So that is not a very appreciable thing. But second thing, which the Vedas prescribe also, and that is more practical thing. What we can do, we have to heal that wound, or we have to, being in this material body only, we have to reduce our involvement of material things. So how we can do that? Uh, like see, uh, there are many persons. Every people have his own nature. So a person who is fully grossly in material or physical platform, if you talk to him, then he will also reply on you in that platform only. But if you talk to a spiritual person, means we see many saints in our country, many people are there, so they will reply on you. They will be in that physical form only, but they will reply you in a very spiritual way. So that is actually the concept.
Spiritual way.
Being in material body only, we have to associate ourselves with so many higher things like mental or in spiritual things, so that we can rise to that level. So in this way, practically, we can reduce our material or bodily involvement. And what are those things? Means few things I can tell, like you can read scriptures. Bhagavad Gita is there, Srimad Bhagavatam, so many divine spiritual scriptures are there. You can associate with those books, you can associate with those people who are following those scriptures. So this is the practical way of doing that, how we can rise from mental to spiritual life. So that was the thing.
Okay. So, okay. So these points will be very helpful to us. That is to me and our respective viewers. So I hope that the viewers will might have got their answer. That simple living is not only required, but along with that, high thinking is also required, because the difference between the animals and the humans are the intelligence, that we are having the intelligence that we can think. So our thinking should be high. We should not only think on the these bodily platforms that is animals are also performing, like sleeping, eating, sex life, and defending. So we should having high thinking also along with a simple living. So thank you, sir, for giving your precious time so that we
Thank
can
you.
have this wonderful session and a much more guidance that we are having in the previous sessions. And along with that, we are having a very good guidance from you. Thank you, sir, for
Yeah,
giving a
thank you,
precious time.
Kedam. Thank you for calling me. Thank you.